welcome to Chow Time. One of the reasons I love this recipe so much for mushroom stuffed sourdough bread with smoked Gouda cheese on top is because I use it in two different ways. First of all, I think it tastes great. A big hunk of it parked next to a grilled steak. That's a great dinner. Also, if we have friends stopping by, I will cut it into strips and it makes for a great hors d'oeuvre. So I have about 2.5 pounds of cremini mushrooms sauteing in 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 tablespoons of butter. And I want to just saute them for about 10 minutes until they're nice and tender. And one little trick too, cremini mushrooms, are baby portobellos. And one thing I do is I pull the stems off of them because I don't chop the stems with it because I think the stems are too woody. And I just like the mushroom caps. So that's what I've done. And mushrooms have a lot of liquid in them. So see how they're just cooking down and shrinking. Those mushrooms are nice and tender. I'm going to sprinkle in a couple of tablespoons of flour, because that'll help hold everything together. And stir that up. Let that flour cook for just a minute. Then comes Marsala wine. Maybe half a cup. And with that flour in there, that'll turn that into a thick sauce. Now for my seasonings. A teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of pepper. And then nutmeg. I love nutmeg, especially with Marsala wine and mushrooms. So maybe, about a half a teaspoon's worth. And we'll just let that cook a couple of minutes until the liquid is cooked off. Okay, this was less than 10 minutes, but you can see how most of the liquid has cooked off and reduced. You just have this wonderful mushroom filling. So we'll turn that off. Now I'm going to go over to my loaf of sourdough bread. I've cut it in half lengthwise. What I want to do is pull out some of the middle. So I'm making like a trough for all those mushrooms. And what I do with that bread is I put it outside for the birds, or the raccoons, or the deer, or the skunks, or the opossum, or the chipmunks, or whatever animal happens by my back door. So I've hollowed that out a little bit. Now I get my mushrooms. And divide them between the two halves of the bread. There's a lot of mushrooms in there, but that's the way I want it. And now I'm going to put slices of smoked Gouda cheese all over the top, because that'll hold everything in. And this is fascinating about smoked Gouda cheese. Gouda cheese was first around in 1184. And it's named after the town of Gouda in the Netherlands. And it is one of the oldest cheeses in the world to still be manufactured. And by the way, locally, they call it Gouda cheese. So now I'm going to put this under the broiler until the cheese is all melty. Let me check this out. Oh yeah. I like to have it a little bit golden brown on top. And I want to let this rest for about 8 to 10 minutes. So when you slice it, it doesn't just sort of run together. So we want it to solidify a little bit. Yep, that works.